Hello everyone, welcome back to FPL STAR. Today I gonna discuss about FPL Gameweek pre-analysis ahead of Gameweek 35. In this video, I gonna discuss about some dilemma solution for Gameweek 35 and also current trade of this game week. I will also discuss about some predicted point for this game week players and also clean sheet odds. So there's a lot of content. So before starting, if you are new in this channel, please subscribe this channel. Now let's start. At first, I will look at predicted point, and for game week 38, 35, the most predicted point is Erling Haaland and he is utmost favorite there. The second one is Harry Kane, and if you look at the long range for game week 35 to 38, they are also Erling Haaland is predicted to get 37 point and Harry Kane is 28. So these two are output favorites here, and other forward in this list is Tony is in third position and Gabriel Jesus is 21 and Watkins is 20. Now move on to the midfield predicted point, and for game 35 the first midfielder is Salah. He is predicted to get 7.3 point in game 35. Kevin De Bruyne also 7.1, but it needs to be needed that he is fully fit. If he is not fit, then he will not play and he will not get the return, because against West Ham he was not in the bench, he was in the sideline. So I don't think he is totally fit now, and that's why you should think about it, because you need to get him fully ready if you want to start him. Other player in this list in game 35 is Bruno Fernandes. He had got 6.5 predicted point, and the surprising one here is Son. I think Son is now backing his form, and his predicted point from game 35 is 6.1. And if you look at the long range, Fernandes is the outmost favorite here. He is predicted to get 34 points because he has got one double game week in 37, and other player in this predicted point list is most popular is Kevin De Bruyne and he's 33 point. And as Brighton got two double game week fixing in game week 36 and 37, so their midfielder is obviously there, and it is predicted that Marsh and McAllister is there. Now move on to the defender predicted point for game week 35, and outmost favorite here is Alexander Arnold. He is 5.4 and he assists in all 5 matches, but when Liverpool maintained clean sheet in last match against Fulham, he cannot provide any assist, and that's a disappointing thing for his owner. But for game week 35, he's a good option, and his predicted point is 5.4 against Brentford. And the second one is Stupinian. He has got 5.1 and he will play against Everton. Trippier is a surprising one. He's got 4.8 predicted point, where his opponent is hard and it's Arsenal. And if you look at long range, and the output favorite here is Stupinian. He has got 28 point predicted, as he got two double gaming fixes, so that's why I think he's their favorite. And Trippier also got 26 point because he's attacking, but in last few games he was disappointing, just getting 2 or 1 point, so that's a disappointing thing here. Now move on to the goalkeeper predicted point, and the top in this list is Cape, and it's a surprising one I think, because Chelsea are not playing well in attacking sense, but in defensive sense they are playing well. So that's why Kepa is there, and his fixture also looks good in game week 35 and 36, like Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest. These teams are not good in attackingly, so that's why I think Kepa can be an option. And Raya is also there, 4.6 predicted points, but it's against Liverpool, so I don't think it will be viable for Raya. Now move on to the long run, and if you look at the long run from game week 35 to 38, here also Kepa is favorite because he has got double game week in 37 and got fairly okay fixture. And the second one is Ederson, but you need to be sure that Ederson is playing. In last match he was benched because Orega is playing, and I think Ederson has got some fitness issue. And the third one is Dikia, as he got double game week fixture in game week 37, that's why he's there, and he's predicted to get 19 point, which is similar to Nick Pope, who has also got double gaming in 36. Now I will move on to the current trends, and if you look at game week 35 transfer, 53% FPL manager are gonna roll transfer in this game week. So above 50% are don't use their transfer and they will bank their transfer for game week 36. And if you look at the FPL manager are transferring, and it's 40% manager are using their free hit and free transfer, and only 7% are taking hit of -4 in these current trends. Now move on to the captaincy choice, and Harling Haaland is the favorite here. He's got 88%. FPL manager trust him for captaincy armband against Leeds, and Salah is got 8% captaincy choice in last double gaming in game week 34. Salah outscored Haaland by 2 points, so Salah is a good option also in game week 35 captaincy choice, and Harry Kane is got 4%. Now I will move on to the dilemma solution, and first dilemma is in game week 35 a lot of team has got easy fixture and they have very good midfielder and forward. So what should you do with their midfielder or forward? And if you look at the team in there is Manchester City, Manchester United, Brighton, Liverpool, Aston Villa, and I think you should play Manchester City and Brighton attacker, because if you look at last 5 match of Brighton, in last 5 match their expected goal score was 12, and if you look at their opponent in game week 35 is Everton, they are conceding 13 goal almost in expectedly. So that's why I think Brighton will score against Everton as it is their home fixture. So that's why you should play Brighton attacker, and if for Mitoma, Marsh and McAllister you should play them. And other thing about Manchester City is that their expected goal score ratio was last 5 matches was 12, which is good, and they will play against Leeds. They are conceding 17 goal, but their expected goal ratio was 12 in last 5 matches. So they are quite similar, not quite similar, because I think their defense are underperforming from their expected state, and I think Manchester City has a very good chance to get a lot of return in this match in attacking sense. So you should play your Manchester City attacker like Grealish, Mahrez, or Julian Alvarez, Kevin De Bruyne. And if you look at the other team here, Manchester United has got fixture against West Ham, and if you look at Manchester United expected goal score ratio for last 5 matches is 12.1, where West Ham expected goal conceded was 8.2. That means that it's okay to play Manchester United asset like Bruno Fernandes, and if you are got Rashford should obviously play from your team because he is the main goal threat for Manchester United. And other team here is Aston Villa. Their expected goal score ratio for last 5 matches is not good, like only 6.3 goal. This means 1 goal in each match. But if you look at the opponent in game of 35, it's Wolves. They are conceding goal recently. In last 5 matches, their expected goal concede ratio was 9.2. So that's why I think it's okay to play your Watkins attacker like Watkins Aston Villa attacker, and you should bench your Liverpool attacker if you have, because they will play Brentford home, though it's a home match. If you look at Liverpool attacking number, their expected goal score ratio is 14.8, which is quite good and is highest among all. But if you look at their opponent Brentford expected goal conceded ratio is 5.8. This means they are solid in the back, so that's why you should play obviously Salah if you have. But other Liverpool midfielder or forward like Gakpo, Jota, Firmino, or Nunes, you should think about it, and I think you might bench Liverpool attacker. And my preference is to bench Liverpool attacker in this dilemma, and I am now thinking of benching Jota for my team. Now I move on to the second dilemma, and it's also about benching dilemma. And there are a lot of defenders this week are playing well, and I think a 4 defender you are thinking in your team is Stupinian, Stones, Trippier, and Luke Shaw. And if you have Alexander Arnold, you should obviously play him because he's expensive one and he's has got more goal threat than any other defender. But if you are got these 4 and 1 to bench one, which player you should bench? I will discuss this in this dilemma. And if you look at the state, and it looks that you should play Johnstone because Manchester City expected goal conceded in last 5 matches 3.6, which is less than one per match. So they are defensively a good team. And if you look at Manchester City opponent, Leeds are scoring 6.7 expected goal in last 5 matches. So they are not a very good attacking team. And if you look at those 5 teams, I think they have the lowest expected goal score ratio. So that's why you should play your Manchester City defender like John Stone, and if you have Ake or Diaz, then you should play. And the other thing about this is, you if you have John Stone, he is playing now as a double pivot position, sometimes in the midfield position, right midfielder position. So that's why he can give you some attacking return as well. Now move on to the Brighton asset Estupinian, and I think Estupinian and Luke Shaw is okay for game week 35 because Estupinian, if you look at Brighton defensive point of view, they have expected goal conceded ratio was 5.3 in last 5 matches, which is one goal in each match, and their opponent Everton are scoring 7.7 goal in last 5 match expected. So that's why I think you should that's why I think Brighton assisted okay because they are defensively not totally solid but quite good, and their opponent are not scoring a lot of goals. So that's why Estupinian is okay. And on the other hand, if you look at Luke Shaw in last match, Manchester United expected goals conceded ratio was 5.5, where their opponent West Ham expected goals score ratio is 8.6, and this is the middle point. So that's why you should play your Luke Shaw in defense. But it's okay that if you have Stupinian and Luke Shaw and you need to bench one, then you can bench either one. But I think you should prefer Stupinian ahead of Luke Shaw because Stupinian has got attacking threat, where Luke Shaw is now playing as a center back. And my preference for this dilemma and is to bench Trippier, because if you look at Newcastle expected goals considered in last 5 matches 6.5, which is higher than Brighton, Man City, Man U and Liverpool. And if you look at their opponent is Arsenal in game week 35, and their expected goal score ratio is 9.8. This means they have got the highest goal threat among these 5: Everton, Leeds, West Ham and Brentford, Arsenal. So that's why you should bench Trippier. He can get attacking return in this match, but I don't expecting clean sheet from Newcastle in this match. Now I will look at the current trades in this dilemma, and 51% manager are thinking of benching Trippier, and 21 and are thinking of benching Luke Shaw, and 21% are thinking of benching Johnstone, but I am not totally agree with it, and 7% are benching Stupinian. It's the current trends of FPL manager. Now move on to the clean sheet odd, and it's a bonus one, and I think the most chance for this game to maintain clean sheet is Manchester City. They have 52% chance of maintaining clean sheet. Brighton has also got, I already tell, they have very good defensive side, and their expected clean sheet odd for game week 35 is 48%. Chelsea has got a 38% chance against Bournemouth to maintain clean sheet, and Liverpool also got favorable fixture as they play very well at home, and their chance of maintaining clean sheet also like Chelsea is 38%, and Nottingham Forest is 37%. Now I move on to the third dilemma for this game week, and is buying Newcastle forward in game week 35, and there are two sides in this dilemma. And I think the positive side is you are going for good form player. Now Wilson and Isak are scoring goals, so they are good form. So that's a positive thing of them. And other positive thing that if you have tight budget, like if you have 6.9 or 7 million, then you can buy now Isak and Wilson. But I think their price will up, and if you are thinking of bring them in game week 36, their price might be 7.1 or 7.2, then you don't have this kind of budget to buy this. And if you have this problem, then you need to buy them gaming 35. The negative thing about them buying in gaming 35, because you know less information if these two are played, because sometimes Isak are rotated, sometimes Wilson are rotated. And the other thing about Isak and Wilson, that when they play together, the position Isak is now playing in left wing and Wilson is in the center forward position, but this might change and you need to see this. And I think these two are one of the best attacking player for game of 36, so you need to be caution about them. And the other thing about this is that in game of 35 they will play Arsenal, and Arsenal are now not a very good defensive side, because their two center back are now injured, but still they are now the second position in the league, so their defense also good. So that's a hard fixer, and that's the negative for being Newcastle attacker in game with 35, and also they have some rotation risk. Now, my suggestion for this dilemma is, if you have already have Isak and Wilson, you need to play them game with 35, because there are chance that they can score goal because they have in good form. But if you don't have Isak and Wilson, I don't think it's an essential one to go for Newcastle attack at this game with 35. You should wait for game with 36 when you will get enough information. And if you look at the current trends in this dilemma, and 25% manager already have Wilson or Isak. Some of them have both, so they are the manager in this. And if you look at the other thing about them, that 25% manager are going to buy Isak and Wilson in game with 35. I am not totally agree with them. The 50% manager are going for buy them in 36, and I am with them. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please like this video, and if you are new in this channel, please subscribe this channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Good luck for your team.